Hi, I'm Lexi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I wash, refresh, and style my braids. So first things first, the items I use are a bunch of shampoo because usually when you have braids like I do, you don't wash your hair every day. I like to wash my hair maybe once a week when I have braids, or more if I've done a physical activity that caused me to sweat a lot, like going to the gym or working out. Today I went to the gym, so now I'm gonna wash my braids. So the first item I use is a clarifying shampoo. Like this one, you can use any clarifying shampoo that you like. This is the one that I use. So since you're going longer periods of time without washing your hair, you wanna use a clarifying shampoo that is going to really deep clean your scalp and remove all of that extra buildup. After I use my clarifying shampoo, I like to use this scalp scrub. So this is a really nice deep scrub again. I like to do this double cleanse whenever I wash my braids. Again, just to make sure everything is super squeaky clean on your scalp to prevent any itching or flaking. So this specific scalp scrub is really good. This one in particular smells amazing and it gets really sudsy. Like you only need a small little bit and it just like gets super foamy. I love it. It feels great on my scalp and it smells super yummy. When I'm shampooing, I like to use the soft bristle brush just to really scrub my scalp and remove all of that buildup also. Once you're done shampooing, then you're gonna want to move on to conditioner, of course. I use this one. So this is a defrizzing treatment conditioner. So especially when you have braids, you want to prevent any frizziness from your natural hair so it doesn't poke out the braids and just look more messy. So this is a really good conditioner to help with frizzing. And I like to just put this on the portion of my braids and I know I have my real hair. Okay, my real hair ends probably around here. You can see it's darker in color right here and then it gets a lot lighter here. So I'll put the conditioner all throughout here and stop right there. Now I do still condition the ends of my hair, that's just the weave. I just wanna make sure that it stays smooth, tangle-free, and free of frizz as well. However, I do go ahead and use a different conditioner for the bottom just because it's not my real hair, so I save the cheaper conditioner for this one. The other conditioner is a little bit more expensive, so that's just gonna stay on my real hair, okay? So that is my routine when I am washing the full length of my braids, but sometimes I don't even wanna do that and I just wanna wash my scalp without washing the rest of my braids because, mind you, these take forever to dry once they're wet, okay? So if I don't wanna go through the whole process, I recommend getting one of these bottles, something that has this extended precision tip like this. Fill it with water and shampoo. So as you can see, I already did that. So there's shampoo and water in here. And this way you can just precisely get the water and shampoo all in your scalp and in between the braids and just scrub like so and rinse the top portion of your head without getting the rest of your braids wet. So of course we start off with wetting the braids entirely. And be mindful because they get incredibly heavy when they're wet, especially when you have them really long like how I have them. I have them hip length. They get really heavy when they're wet, so prepare for a neck workout. So I start taking the shampoo. Once I have gotten it all sudsy like this, and I'm going to start really scrubbing and try to get through all the parts. It can be really difficult because when you have this many braids, for obvious reasons, there's just a lot of parts and a lot of braids. Never neglect the back, okay? Don't forget. Now that is only the first round of shampooing. Remember, we got 2. And if you want to go crazy, go do 3 rounds, but I just do 2. So we rinse and repeat. Now I'm going in with the scrub, and I just do that whole process over again. So I'm not going to show you guys the same thing over again, so we'll skip through that. So now that I've scrubbed my scalp to the gauze and I'm fully shampooed, it's time to transition over to the conditioner. So like I mentioned before, I'm going to start with the defrizzing conditioner on my natural hair at the top of the braids. Be mindful not to go all the way to the root though, because the conditioner can cause excess buildup on your scalp that you don't want. So I like to start the conditioner around here and down, just making sure that it never touches the scalp. The method I like to use is prayer hands. I just take it straight down the braids. Then I take my other conditioner and I go ahead and condition the ends of the braids. So once I have all of the conditioner in my braids, I go ahead and do the rest of my shower routine, wash my body, wash my face, shave, whatever I need to do. And then at the end, after I'm done washing my body, I go ahead and rinse out the conditioner. So it gets to sit in my hair for a couple of minutes while I do the rest of my shower routine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now and then come back. So now that I've finished showering, I'm going to rinse the conditioner out, but the trick with rinsing out the conditioner is using cool or cold water. The cool, cold water helps to lock the moisture into your hair and into your braids. You should do this on your regular hair naturally without braids also, but definitely when you have braids. All right, so now that I'm out of the shower, I'm left with soaking wet hair that I need to dry. So what I like to do is just be mindful that the drying process is gonna take forever. If you wanna blow dry, it might reduce the time a little bit, but I rather air dry so that my hands can be free and I can do something else or just relax instead of having to sit and hold a hair dryer for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, you know. It honestly takes around the same time as to just air dry, and you can multitask at the same time. So I like to take a microfiber towel like this and wrap my braids in this towel to dry off, and use a giant rubber band like this one. You take one of these and use it to hold up the towel. So I'll show you how this looks now. You're gonna want to put the towel behind your hair around the nape of your neck, kind of like shake it all back, and then wrap it around as tight as you can at the top. And my braids are really, really long, so I put it at an angle so that I can kind of angle downwards, and I'll show you what I mean by that. To make this part go down and cover the ends of my hair here. I like to make sure it stays tight around the braids the whole way down. Okay, so now the entirety of my braids is covered with this towel, and I go ahead and flip it up like this, and this is where the rubber band comes in. You take the rubber band, ooh, usually it's a lot harder than this. Boom. And yes, it's heavy. Okay, so the neck workout is not over yet. You're going to have a very strong neck after this, okay? Could come in handy. I like to actually keep it on my shoulder like this to help relieve some of the tension and the heaviness. So I just kind of like plop it right there. Yeah, that's a lot more comfortable. That takes a lot of the weight off my neck and reduces tension on pulling on my scalp. So once I'm done drying the ends of my braids and the top fully air dries, I'm gonna come back and check in with you guys and show you what I do as my last step. Okay, so now that my hair is about 90% dry, it's not 100% dry, but it's very close. I've gone ahead and taken off the towel. I'm going to let it completely air dry from this point. And the last step that's going to complete this entire look and seal the deal is adding mousse. Okay, so this is the mousse that I like to use, and she's basically running on empty right now, so I might have to switch to this mousse if I run out. So if you see me switch, that's why. Okay, so I start with just putting it all over the top of my head. The top of your head is the most important because you don't want any flyaways. You really want to melt it down into your scalp, okay? So once I've put all the mousse all over the top part of my head, I'm going ahead and take my wrap and tie that on top. You want the silky part to be touching your hair on the inside and the seam to be on the outside. So we're gonna flop that on top, create tension on my forehead by pulling it back like this. I'm going to take these fingers back here and pull down to create tension in the back and keep it all flat and smooth. Then we twist these two, tie that, twist it back like so. Then I'll just pull it down again and then tie it. There you go. And you want to make sure that this is nice and flat against your braids, so you can pull this down to tighten it some more. You just want all of it to touch your braids. Now what this does, the mousse combined with this hair wrap tight against your braids, will allow your hair to melt down completely into the braids so you don't have as many frizzies and flyaways. Now I do like to continue to add mousse throughout the rest of my braids all the way down and into the curls at the bottom and scrunch them just to give them some more life again, because they're more like beach waves now, but I'm not mad at it. I think it's really pretty. Again, we go in with the prayer hands all the way down. Okay, so that was technically the last step, but we're not done yet. So now I just have to wait for the mousse to settle. So usually I leave the wrap on for about 30 minutes minimum. After that, you can leave it up to an hour if you want. It'll just help to smoothen and flatten out your braids as much as possible. So this was the last step of things to do, but I want to show you the finished product. So again, I'll check in once this is all done settling in. All right, so here's the finished product. I went ahead and took off my wrap, and this is what I'm left with. Nice, smooth, frizzless braids that are, most importantly, clean. And then I'll just go ahead and style them whenever I want to go out. My favorite look is to simply just do a half up, half down like this and clip it back. Super simple, super cute, and quick and easy. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and give me a like. And if you would like to see more of me, click the link in my bio below. Bye.